What is up, Geeky Army? The Geeky Robots here. We have just finished watching Shazam. And let me tell you, the hype is well worth it.
Yeah, we're going to give you some quick thoughts, non-spoiler here, just to kind of get you excited as you go into the weekend and make your plans to watch this movie, and definitely get your tickets if you haven't already, because it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, so just a quick overview. This is the kind of movie that DC had to have released years ago. It's the one that the fans deserve. It does justice to the character. It does justice to the general audience. The narrative is enticing. It's inviting. It's the kind of thing that I want to watch over and over again. I was even texting my friends when I got out. I was like, hey, if you guys go see it this weekend, let me know because I want to see it again. So this movie, I feel, is one of the movies that absolutely outshines all of the other DC movies. It made me feel good. It made me feel enveloped. I felt for the characters. They build up these characters and each one of their arcs in a way that makes you feel that you have something to bond with them. This is something that I like when I watch superhero films. And I feel that Shazam got it right. All of the elements that a hero needs to be able to feel like there's something to lose, there's something to win, there's something for him to develop himself, right? You have some superhero movies that they just blink of an eye. Okay, I'm a superhero and I'm going to be strong. No, Shazam, you felt him develop and you felt that push, what pushed him to want to become a hero. And all those different elements I enjoyed. The humor in it, from beginning to end, I was laughing. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like it was put in post-production. It felt like it was embedded into who they were, the characters. They were funny characters. They were lighthearted. And one of my biggest fears was when I watched the trailer, I actually was a little fearful of the fact that it would be very childish. And I was very scared that it would be very cheesy. Truth be told, I didn't feel that at all. Going throughout the movie, it felt, you had your moments that you can tell were geared towards a general audience, a little bit younger, but it didn't feel like I was out of place. Like they completely forgot about the adult demographic. Throughout the entire thing, I was chuckling, I was laughing. There was parts that I was like, oh my gosh. It was just comedic relief to the highest degree.
And DC really found a good balance, finally, between dark and light, where really it wasn't too lighthearted, but it wasn't too dark where you're just sitting there and feeling awful about yourself.
You're crying, you don't know why. Everything's black. Yeah, it's like the lens is just dark the entire time.
Right, filter.
So, no, another thing is the villain, right? So the villain adds that dark element. But at the same time, this villain was memorable. It sets him up from the beginning. It builds... he gets you on the edge of your seat. This villain, it feels like it's a formidable foe. So we also watched it in IMAX, which added a lot of effects to it because of the audio. In certain areas, you just hear the boom, boom. That, I was like, wow, okay, this guy actually, he can take down our hero. Overall, I actually felt like there was a bit of leverage when it came down to the scenes where they collided. I was like, okay, there's something to lose here. Shazam has met his formidable foe. Let's see what happens. There was certain parts that may have fallen a little weak, the effects, but to me, the overall movie, the structure of the movie, the narrative, the script, the comedic relief overshadowed any little weaknesses that there may be in a movie, because you can't be hypercritical. You're sitting down and at the end of the day, me as a viewer, I'm just enjoying the movie.
Every movie has the parts where they dip a little bit, but this felt pretty consistent throughout. It had a lot of heart for sure. Mm-hmm. The characters themselves were full of life, and each had their own unique personality that you could relate to. So it was very easy to follow. It wasn't too convoluted of a plot, too complicated to follow, and really takes you out of it. No, it was kind of easy to follow. The editing was good, which is a problem DC has had in their other movies, where their movies are just so choppy and the transitions are horrific. Now this is a very clear linear path, and they finally got that right.
And when you think about it, there's also the fact that DC is actually, throughout this movie, they were juggling major subplots. They were able to intertwine all those subplots into the main character arc, up until the fact that it leads to the climatic moments. And that's also something that I felt that DC lacked, is they're getting a two-dimensional character and they're trying to punch it into 3D. I didn't feel that in this movie. I felt like, okay, this character has heart. This character has depth. And I felt that. So they were able to grab all of these different subplots that were going on, tie them all together into this character and say, here's your superhero.
Also, a bit of a hint here. The climax of the movie is a huge payoff.
Yes. Avoid spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, stay away from Instagram. Stay away from any kind of thing. If you don't want the movie spoiled, because it is totally worth it. The entire crowd broke into applause. Everyone was, cheering because it was great.
Yeah, I had to tell the guy in front of me to sit down. He stood up and gave a thunderous applause.
He started swinging his cowboy hat around.
Shooting guns in the air. So this movie has 2 end credit scenes, just like most movies. The first one is more of a critical plot point end credit scene that extends to the next movies that are beyond. And then the last one, just like Marvel movies, honestly, borrows that formula. The second one is just kind of a little comedic tidbit.
Yeah. So if you're really tired or really hungry, you could definitely just walk out and watch the last credit. You could watch it on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's true. One of those that you're like, oh, really? I stayed for this? If you enjoy sitting down and watching them in the theater and just for the moments, I'm sure you'll enjoy it as well. Because it wasn't completely pointless. It was a little fun.
Yeah, it was a little fun. Look out very closely. You blink and you miss it for the Stan Lee cameo. You didn't see it? It's a little April Fool's joke for you there.
Oh, there you go.
Anyway.
Yeah, so just keep your eyes peeled the entire time and look for him. You won't be disappointed. Or you will. So, overall reviews, what do you think?
I give it a solid 8.5.
You know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to give it a 9.
Nice.
9 out of 10.
So I think that we could agree. You said, 9 out of 10. Okay.
No, I said 3.14 out of 10.
You said pi out of 10?
I said pi out of 10.
Oh, I see. Terrible.
9 out of 10, definitely.
Okay, 9 out of 10. That sounds fair. I can see that for sure.
Honestly, and it could be just because of the low standards that I've had coming in.
Oh, comparing it to other DC movies, it's a 10.
But it would be 11 out of 10.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a good superhero movie. It was solid. But why do you give it an 8.5? Why is yours less than mine? I feel like I'm always hypercritical.
8.5, and I'm not usually hypercritical. I just walk away, remember how I felt in the movie, and that's what I take away with it. I don't go back and now start thinking, well, this was kind of weak, this was kind of lame, and then drop it later on. But I want to say 8.5 because there were certain moments in the movie where I disconnected a little bit, where I didn't feel that Zachary Levi really was playing an adult version of Asher Angel's character. He just kind of felt a little more childish, where Asher Angel's character, he wasn't that childish, he wasn't that silly.
That's actually true, yeah.
But when
I caught on to that.
Yeah, when Zachary Levi, was playing that and he was like freaking out because of his powers and whatnot, some of it was believable and great, but some of it, like, it didn't feel like the same character.
Yes, I can see that. It was like he was being more childish, and then the young version
he was a little more serious,
being more mature than the actual adult.
But honestly, I might be nitpicking a little bit here because Zachary Levi did do a great job. He was essentially playing 3 characters here. He played an adult Billy Batson freaking out about his powers, and he played Shazam as well, this big hero who can rival Superman. So, not knocking his performance because he did a great job. All the actors did a really great job. I mean, and honestly, in that case, you got to give it up to the directing. I
think the directors did a really good job. I mean, blink and you'll miss it. The Russo brothers actually secretly directed this. I promise you. They're probably not giving credit, but I think Warner Brothers kidnapped them and had them direct this movie.
It's Bo Russo with a mustache.
It's like, this guy looks familiar. But overall, the movie was super enjoyable, super fun, felt like a genuine superhero movie that you can love, that you can rewatch. and that you can just actually feel like you want to be a superhero, which is, I feel, is like the general essence of these movies.
So, Riot, a must watch?
Must watch. Go out, get your tickets if you haven't. Comes out April 5th. So go on your favorite theater provider, get your tickets, get tickets for the whole family because it's family friendly. Get one for your dog. Leave your dog at home. They're not allowed in movie theaters. Go get it. Ladies, gentlemen, robots, aliens, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a non-spoiler review brought to you by the Geeky Robots. We appreciate you tuning in. Drop your comments, subscribe, hit the like button, leave your non-spoiler comments down below. We'd love to discuss. Catch us in the next video where we will go more in depth into what we liked, what we didn't like, what we enjoyed, and why we enjoyed the movie so much. So tune in. Thanks so much for listening. Geek out.